What up, what up?
What's up? How's it going?
Chilling. What's up, community? It's your boy Checo. This is the Saborez Project, and this is the Saborez Podcast with my boy David. Dave, introduce yourself, man.
Yeah, so my name is David. We started this project, a year ago?
Mm-hmm.
A year ago?
Mm-hmm.
On January?
No, February.
Oh,
dude.
February.
Yeah. Damn, it's already been a
Forgot
year.
about that. Yeah, it's almost a year. We've done, eight?
I think about 8. Right now, like we've published?
Yeah.
Like I think 8 episodes.
Yeah,
right?
and we still have
We still got a couple in the...
couple still in polishing.
Polishing up. Hey guys, this is the guy behind the magic. I know we get a lot of praise. Like I get a lot of praise, and especially like private messages and stuff, and like text messages, and like people saying that they really like the content, but it's really him. Like it's really you, dude. Like honestly, and then I know that if they see from the beginning towards now, big improvement, dude. And I think that's great, dude, because then that also like builds up your resume, you know?
Yeah.
But today, for the first episode, we're introducing what the project is about, right? What the Saborez Project is about and how it came about. I wanted to launch a clothing line. I think it was 2017 to Gary V's pumping me up, you know, and it was going to be called the Saborez Apparel Company. And it was because I was looking at this artist in New York, right? His name is Peralta. What's his name? Gosh, it's been a minute since I've seen this thing. Tony Peralta.
Okay.
Tony Peralta. And he has a Peralta, no, was it the Peralta Project? Yeah, it's the Peralta Project, and it's Taller Peralta. He has his own spot in New York, right? And he pumped me up because of, he uses a lot of Hispanic references in his art. And he doesn't limit himself, even though he's Dominican, he doesn't limit himself into the Dominican space. It's part of it, that's his base, but like he builds more on top of that he's using Selena, dude, in some of his stuff. Like he's using Mexican culture, Cuban culture, Puerto Rican culture, Dominican culture, Colombian, whatever it is. And that's the thing that I feel like when we come, like our ancestors or whoever's like people that come here from other countries, they limit themselves and they stay in one space. And at the end of the day, you literally stop being Colombian American or Cuban American, and you just become Latino Hispanic. And although we don't really like it, it's true to the culture, right? So we become one, right? Even though we're not all the same, right? When it comes to the political views or religious views, but that's the beauty of it. That's Saborez.
Yeah.
And so that was the idea of it. And then so I remember, so you graduated from Cal State LA.
Yeah, 2018.
With a film degree, right?
Film degree, right.
And then like in production. And I remember when you messaged me, because what were you trying to do? You were trying to do something, or I don't know how did we end up talking about it?
I think you were starting your clothing line, and you posted it, and I saw that. I'm like, and so I it just came to my mind, like if you need help, just let me know. So I think that's how it started, how we came about, and then you started talking about like your vision about the Saborez Project, what you wanted to portray, like the media, the true media. So I think that's how we came about, and
and that's the age of it too, right? It's the age of it, like creating the media, and especially digital media, has given us the opportunity to tell our stories, right?
Yeah.
And how like it's not portrayed, and actually our first topic is how is our community portrayed in media, movies, new music, and news, right? And I'll tell you what really launched this was two big events. I think it was middle school, if I recall. It was a teacher that would give away statistics about Hispanics, because I went to Gage Middle School, and I remember they would tell us like it was this stereotypical like theory that if you're male, and especially in our community is heavily Mexican, if you're a brown Mexican male, you're most likely, I don't know what the percentages were at the time, to be dead or in prison by 18, right? And then that was like the thing. Then you have all these movies, like gangster movies, and they're portraying us, and it's part of our culture. It makes us who we are. But when you start like stuffing kids with those statistics and with those opinions, I think it affects people, right? I don't know if you ever feel that way or ever felt that way, like going to school. Or
probably not to the extent to like 100%. I mean, I did grow up watching different types of content in the media. Of course, there's I was born in the 90s. the internet wasn't as, it was around, but it wasn't to this extent right now where I could just on a click. So yeah, I grew up watching Selena. I went to the theaters with my sister twice to see it. And from what I got from that is like there's a scene where it's like where the dad is driving the Selena, and the brother's like, oh, we can't be, we're not Mexican because we don't speak the language, and we're not American. So I think that was like he did do a point there where it's like, what are we then?
Yeah.
Are we American? Are we Mexican?
Yeah.
We're Mexican American.
Yeah. And on top of that, you're giving, like I said, I'm giving these statistics, right? Because I was watching the same thing. We all grew up around the same area. I grew up in Huntington Park. You grew up in Maywood. And Bell, right? And so I'm literally Maywood, Bell, Huntington Park. It's all the same thing, to be honest with you. Because everything, we're super close to each other. We just jump on top of it. Like, we literally share, like, what, Atlantic? No, we don't share Atlantic. We share Slauson, Florence, and Gage, right? And so, I mean, and then, of course, we got Linwood, you got Southgate, you got Downey. Downey was like the nice area for us. I remember.
It's like the Beverly Hills.
Yeah, like the Beverly Hills for us on the southeast side. But so that event played a lot in my head, right? Going to school and me struggling in school and getting always in trouble because, well, I had a hard time in school, like learning. And I didn't have a learning disorder. They didn't teach me correct the way I figured out I learned, right? That's a whole different topic. And then a second event was right here, actually. I was working at a school here. I'm not going to say what school because, well, I still work for this nonprofit. But I remember going to this restaurant and we're picking up lunch for I think it was during Thanksgiving. So we're going to pick up like these trays that we pre-ordered, like big trays of just chicken and food and salad and all this. And I remember sitting there, dude, with my white coworker, right? Me and him are chopping it up, just chilling. We're chopping it up. And this white dude comes in. I don't know if he was white or Jewish, whatever, because it was in Westwood. But he comes in and he's like, "Hey, are you guys open?" Right? And I'm sitting here like I'm right here just chopping it up, watching some tea. I think the NBA was on. I don't know what the heck was on. And he's like, "Hey, are you guys open?" He kept insisting, but I'm like, ignore him. I'm having a conversation with my friend, right? I'm having a conversation with my coworker. He's like, "Are you guys open?" And dude, I kid you not, the lady who was like serving us or serving everybody there jumps out of the counter. She's like, sir, we're open. But she kind of like felt embarrassed. And at the same time, I saw it in her face. She was mad, right? And I had two options in that point. Punch this dude in the face, and like be like, "What's up, cuss him out," punch him in his face and like get in front of him. Like normally a lot of individuals are doing nowadays, like how they're solving problems, especially with the Trump syndrome and all this stuff that they say. That it's not that, it's just that words hurt, dude, even though like words do hurt,
Yeah.
Or the second step I took, right? Which I reflected in the moment, and I saw my white coworker, dude. That guy was embarrassed, dude. That guy was red as a tomato, dude. I still remember that day clearly. And I'm like, what
did your coworker do?
He just like put his hand like, damn, what is this dude gonna do? I think he was gonna back me up to punch that food too. Like we were gonna go at it with him. But he was taken away. And I'm like, you know what, dude? The way the guy approached me, it was nice, actually. He was questioning. He wasn't rude or nothing. So that kind of reflected in my subconscious. And so I'm like, you know what? It's not his fault. It's the media's fault of how they portray us, right? My parents both cleaned offices. My dad worked for has always worked in the cardboard industry. He cuts like the DVDs or like those boxes. He makes them. He shapes them. He cuts boxes. He's always worked in that manufacturing business, right? And but on top of that, we would clean our offices where I'm working at. We were also my parents would clean the offices at night, and so I know what it is to clean toilets. You know what I'm saying? I know what it is to clean floors and tables. But the way the media portrays it is that that's the only jobs we do. You know what I'm saying? Like we're only here to serve, and we are, because everything's servitude. If you really want to be successful, it's all about serving others, but not the way where people think you're a slave. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they only put us in a or they only do that. Oh, they're brown, so they only serve me, or they only clean my kitchen or my restroom. They can only do the hard labor jobs, right? And that's what kind of took me away. And I'm like, no, it's media portraying that, I listened to like interviews with Eva Longoria and especially Eva Longoria, right? And I think J-Lo too. where they talk about how they had to create their own production companies because they were tired of doing the same roles over and over, and they're getting casted for the same roles over and over. And they're like, you know what, we're gonna start setting. And then so Eva Longoria is one of them, impacted me the most because she's like that I think it was Housewives, or what was the name of that movie? Do you remember? I mean the show. Oh my gosh, I forgot the show's name. But the role she had was one of the main characters, dude. And because she specified it, you know, she had the power to do so, right? I think they wanted to give her like the maids or the babysitter's role. And so when she said that, no, she's like, nope, this is what I'm doing, and this is how it's gonna go. And she dictated her. That's why I'm like, we have the power now.
Yeah,
we have the power, and so that's why these are two events that impacted me to start this project. What's motivating you to do this project?
I would say, of course, like every time I see somebody, and I know like there's like posts out there, but every time you see somebody out there, brown color, like being a janitor, cleaning this, you know, it reminds me of what my mom had to go through, or what my dad had to go through. My dad, he's been a driver. My mom, she's been cleaning. She's actually helps seniors, so that's what she's actually passionate about that. Not a lot of people have patience to deal with the elderly. So yeah, as you're saying, like the portraying, I think we need a, like Eva Longoria, she did her own production. She's actually, I think, either directing or producing like the Cheeto Guy live movie.
Okay, sick. Yeah.
So I'm actually excited for that, to see that. So just seeing people who already done it, that actually that pushes me to do something that they're doing. So just pushing like what we do is like, you know, we didn't come over here just to clean toilets. We didn't come over here to, you know, just clean the garden. We actually came over here to make a better path for our future, for our future kids. If they want to be a lawyer, if they want to be a basketball player, if they want to be whatever they want, like that is what's motivating me.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about. Like, that's the type of mentality we have, right? And that's the type of mentality we want to instill in others, but also build that brand where it's like self-made, self-paid, but at the same time in a communal way, right? And not only that, but being able to change the narrative. And we're not gonna, like, people, when they take out projects, they feel like they're gonna change the whole world at one time, right? And I'm not out to change the world. I don't know if you are, but I'm not out to change the world. I'm out to change one mind. If I can reach 1, 2, 3 people's mind and like change their perspective, or maybe someone who's already has a lot of power, right? A lot of financial power, but they're believing the stereotype, but they don't want to go to school. I want to give this money out, but I don't know if they want to go to school because ... right? No, we're bringing stories more than anything. We're bringing stories forward. I think bro, I think the episodes we just did were amazing because we're not only catching people that already made it, we're catching people that are coming on the come
process,
up,
right? The process.
So if the community is smart, they'll collab with each other, because that's it. At the end of the day, that's it. That's the main goal. It's collabing with each other.
Yeah.
Like, oh, dude, I'm doing video production, but I need music. Oh, there's this dude over here.
Yeah.
Or look, I need someone else who was doing art. Oh, look, there's an artist here. Or I need someone who's done well with finances and who knows how to manage finances because my business is in a certain spot. Oh, this person. It's collaborating with each other. It's talking to each other. It's creating bridges. And so that's the main purpose of the Saborez Project, is to create bridges and networks. And again, the video production. Want to shoot documentaries, short films, hopefully do a movie one day, right? And maybe hopefully be nominated for something, right?
For an Oscar.
Because, I mean, Kobe's short film inspired me, right?
Yeah.
And like, if Kobe was able to do it, dude, anyone can do it, because he gave us a blueprint on how to do it, right? And so the Saborez Project, and then, okay, let's talking about that nonprofit, right? I already listed it out today. I wrote down some of my dreams and goals, right? And in one of them, it's part of the Saborez Project is creating a nonprofit branch, where we can create these events where we can gather money for individuals who either want to start their business or go to school. And so you were mentioning someone who that you knew someone who got
accepted to
Stanford.
Stanford, yeah, he got accepted to Stanford, but he just didn't have the funds, so he ended up just going to ELAC.
For how many years?
I think 2 years.
Did he go to another school? Or
I didn't keep up with them. Yeah, he was. That's
crazy, dude.
I met him actually in school, in ELAC, and then he told me his story that he got accepted to Stanford, but his parents didn't have the funds. He and then he told me like he wished he wouldn't have gotten that note that he was accepted, because knowing him that he was accepted but he can't go, yeah, it was heartbreaking.
And then mentioning like the impact he would have had on the community, right? Because like I was saying, millennials are coming back to the communities, especially where we're from in Southeast LA, coming back, right? And the type of impact that student would have had coming back to the community after going, and the exposure they would have had and the networking they would have done, right? Think about that, dude. Networking. And there's like I said, there's individuals out there, especially like people make fun of trust fund babies, but some of the trust fund babies have they wear their heart on their sleeve, dude. And they actually want to create nonprofits and movements too. So think about making the bridge, that connection with someone from a community they want to help, that network. So now they have someone who went to the same school, they made the network, and they can come back and fund whatever project they're working on together, right?
Yeah.
And so those are the things I'm like, I think outside the box in those situations where I'm like, dude, think about the potential of digitally networking with someone else or creating digital bridges, right? And like, oh, dude, they're on this mission. How can we help? How can we fund? How can we help in the Saborez Project? I want to tell people stories, though. That's important. Like, storytelling is important, but most importantly, people in our communities, right? People who come from the block. And eventually I want to take this nationwide, dude. I want to go down to Miami. I want to go down to New York. I want to go down to Texas, right? I want to go down to Houston, Dallas, Austin, where there's a big influx, Corpus Christi, where there's a big influx of Latinos there, dude. Chicago, right? Now they're in Nebraska. I have family in Nebraska, dude. Yeah. Like Florida, Orlando, right? And so I want the Saborez Project to go there, right? And so, but we need to focus also at home. LA has a lot of potential that no one talks about on the other side of that freeway on the 10, going southeast, south side and South LA, and southeast and east. No one talks about those communities. It's always about Hollywood. It's always about the west side now because of the digital hub, right? But no one talks about those communities out there. And there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent out there. Do I remember the Cholo dudes who used to draw some of the best drawings ever, dude? Probably a painting that could go for $2 million right now. Dude, and they lost their lives either by gang violence or they lost their lives in prison. They're in prison right now, right? Because they were following the wrong footsteps because they didn't have guidance. We didn't have guidance growing up. Not in that situation. We didn't have examples, right? And so imagine they would have met a great artist, right? A street artist that would have told them, listen, no, go this way. Or look, there's this funding for this. Or go to art school and make that connection with someone in art school.
Yeah.
Where they would be now, right? And so those are the bridges that we're trying to build, right? Well, at least I think that we're trying to build those bridges.
Oh yeah, we're trying to get together with other people who actually want to do something with their life, and like how you said, make a bridge for them and connect them with somebody else who could actually help them.
Yeah, man, I think about that a lot. I think about the lack of resources. Like I was mentioning, like going to school and like not having to share books, right? Having to share materials with other students because we didn't have enough, or some of the conditions these schools were in, right? And they're in the same district as these other schools on the west side. And I've been to schools on the west side, and I'm like, homie, like they got it going on. And of course, it's about the PTA, blah blah blah, but whatever. But the information these kids are exposed to, as opposed to us, makes a huge difference when it comes to information and the exposure of information and how you obtain it, right?
Yeah.
And so, because that dictates a lot. I think the lack of information also inhibits the lack of direction. I think that once we're informed, then we'll make our own path or follow a path, right? A blueprint that's already been given out to us, right?
Yeah.
But if we don't know about it, how are we going to figure it out? You know what I'm saying? And of course, we got the internet, but sometimes we need that physical, like...
That physical proof.
Proof, right?
Like, hey, I did it, so could you.
Yeah.
Or this is how this person did it. This person's going to teach us how.
And changing the mentality of it. And like I was saying, we don't want to change the world, or at least I'm not. That's like a big milestone, I think, or a big like start or shoot at.
Yeah.
Or towards to. But if we can change a few individuals' minds or expose them to information that they themselves would have never been exposed to, and maybe tweak their path to something else, or maybe they follow their passion, right? Maybe they follow it now in the digital era where they can actually monetize it, right? I mean, they use their talents. So everyone's telling them, or at least the status quo was saying, no, you can't do it, because not everyone's meant for school. So like, oh, you can't do this anymore. Oh, you can't do this. You want to study this? You want to? My brother, for example, I use him a lot as an example because my mom used to pressure him a lot to go to college, right? And my mom, and I get it, because my mom immigrated here and she doesn't want any bums, dude. And it hurt growing up where we grew up and understanding that these people's parents were like immigrants to this country and they were out there destroying the community by rayando and killing each other and like doing all, and banging for a street name that doesn't even belong to them, right? But their parents had to cross through so much, dude, right? And come through to here and live through so much and their youth here. For them to turn out this way, that's something that always like hit me in the heart, right? And so, but at the same time, our communities and our parents and our family members like to say, oh, go to school, but they don't tell us how. They don't, because they don't know, right? They just know that, hey, they got to go to school because they have to have a better life, right? Because school's going to give you a better life. Yes, it's going to give you more knowledge, but we don't have the guidance of how to go to school. We don't have the guidance of how to get money for school. We don't even know what school to go to, right? Or what to study to begin with, right? It's just always go to school. I don't know if you ever heard that, like go to school. Did they ever tell you that?
Yeah. Like, oh, you have to go to school. You have to make something of yourself. You have to get a career and, whatever. Like you could be whatever you want, but you have to go to school. You have to go to college. It's okay if you get in debt.
My mom told me that. She's like, cousins did it, you have to get in debt. I'm like, what? Do you understand what you're saying? So I remember at first my mom didn't like that. She didn't know so much too, but like I was going to ELAC. But I knew in back of my head, well, first of all, I don't know what the heck, dude. If I would have gone to a 4-year university, dude, I would have been maybe $60,000 in debt right now, because I didn't know what to do the first 2 years of school, or 3 years actually. I was lost. I don't know if you were lost. At the beginning?
At the beginning, yes, I was lost. And then I did have some guidance, which luckily I did have a little guidance of a person actually helped me register for my first class. Because when I went to college, I didn't know where to go. But yeah, luckily I did have a little bit of guidance where this person helped me get my first classes. After that, I did it my own. But yeah,
but you needed the guidance.
I needed the guidance.
You needed the information.
Yeah, because I didn't know.
Did you guys have a college counselor in high school?
High school, yeah, we did. We had counselors.
But were they guiding you guys?
No. I mean, as far as guidance, I mean, yeah, they will give us like, hey, what college are you going to go to? What's your 4-year plan? But they never gave us the
technical
steps.
part of it.
The steps.
The technical.
Yeah. So, okay, so this is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. But, okay,
it's always abstract, right?
Yeah.
It's like in the abstract world, like, oh, what's your dream? Cool. That's an awesome one. Apply there. But how? And like, I was lost, dude. And I don't think we had a college counselor till like 2 months before we graduated. Or the first graduating class. By that time, dude, half of the time that dude wasn't there, and the other time he was there, I think he was high. And the third time, and he was also like, it was always full. Like all the seniors are going because they all want to go to school. And I remember kids would just sit with him and waste time, and I would get like, oh, you know what, I gotta get out of here, But no one ever guided me to what I had to do, right? So I went to ELAC, lost for 2-3 years, And until I finally met someone, an older fellow too, like that. He was transferring out. I told him, how'd you do it? He's like, oh, do this. Boom, get out. And I'm like, dude, okay, cool. So I started following that dude. I got out in 2 years. Like, if I would have had that type of guidance at 18, dude, I would have been finished with school like at 24 or something, dude, or 23, how I should have been, right? But instead, I was graduating college at 25, you know? And so...
Which there's nothing wrong with that.
Which is nothing wrong with it, but it's also like I feel like I wasted a lot of time doing dumb stuff that I could have been focused on maybe a project like this. Or, I mean, I think everything's meant to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, you don't get time back. You know what I'm saying? And like, I remember the focus I had in school. I'm like, dude, if I could focus on something else like this, we can create change, man. Like, I do believe that if we all focus on something, we can create change on the minuscule part. Like, it always starts with us individually, right? How can I get better? How can I exceed in myself, my expectations, right? And then once you exceed in yourself, then it goes to your house, right? To your home, to your local area. And after that, it goes to the community and the world, right? But it has to be with us. So that's it. The mission is exposing people to information that otherwise they would have not had, right? Because a lot of the actual like media that's on right now, it's all about focused on other like subjects that I don't think advances like the culture in general or advances the community, like important information.
Yeah.
I want to get experts.
It's just entertainment.
Here. Yeah, it's just entertainment. I want to get experts on finances on here. How to manage a checkbook, how to budget, right? How to save money. I want to talk to someone who's in real estate. How do we own property? You know, we're like the biggest buying power in this country. The Latinos are, and Latin American community is. Yet we don't own that much, I think, right? Like some people, like I have met a couple of Latinos that own a couple of apartment complexes and all that, but they were exposed to a different era or they grew up in a different part of LA, right?
Yeah.
So they were exposed to that information. I want to get individuals who are college counselors that can give you the steps, the technical steps on how to apply, what to do. And for someone who's lost, I wish I would have had that YouTube video back then, dude. This is how you do it. This is how you apply. And yeah, go. You see, but now I have the technical. Now I have the blueprint to do it. I wish I would have had that video. I want to have people here who are experts in nutrition, right? I've figured out stuff that hinders me in my nutrition. Like I figured out that I can't eat pasta because I get swollen. I swell up. Like I get inside, I get itchy, right? So like I want to get nutritional people. Like in our community is plagued with that, right? Bad nutrition. Especially, I was always hitting up Jack in the Box, homie. Jack's is my one of my favorite go-to places when I was like, especially in high school, especially like during like finals and midterms and finals, we would go pack in like, let's get the $10 worth of tacos, homie, like and just stuff our faces and study, you know, and then just celebrate at the end with like some Call of Duty and some hot Cheetos and
Call of Duty.
Yeah, dude, like, and so how to get more educated on nutrition, right? The fitness world right now is becoming like too, how can I say, it's a like a double-edged sword, right? They make it seem like, okay, oh dude, you have to be this way. It's like the military police when it comes to fitness, but like no, let's talk about what big difference for me was walking half an hour. Huge difference for me, dude. Like I feel better. Like I'll get home today, I just walk for half an hour in the incline and go home, a shower, and feel bomb. But then you start coming up with these ideas. You digested your food better. You just feel better just by walking, dude. You don't even have to do like these like calisthenics or stuff like that. Like, nah, dude, start off with something small and like move forward. Like these are the topics I want to talk about and discuss and bring forward and bring experts in that are already doing it, you know? And that's what the Saborez Project means to me. That's what I want to do, right? I don't know if you want to add anything else to this mission.
Yeah, I mean, we want to get people here that are going to give us, a good information that's going to actually get us ahead, give us some tips on real estate, on nutrition, how you said, on just psychologists, mental health. Now that everybody's talking about mental health, just to get people exposed of what, let's say, like nutrition, like, okay, I didn't know this, but I heard it in a podcast, like, okay, let me try it now, and like, hey, it worked for me. It's actually working for me. So yeah, so that's what I would actually like to see as well. Just seeing people come in and just giving us tips, not just for us, but for like the listener, and to actually gain something out of it on their commute while they're exercising, just trying for them to get something out of it.
Yeah, information is key. Information is I think the stepping stone to advancement in the community, and it's in not only in the community but individually. Like information, like real information, not just entertainment, And that's a mission, dude. Yeah. That's a mission. That's battling with people and with like companies that are just offer entertainment. We just want to be entertained after a long day of work.
Yeah.
But I think that
we just want to watch Netflix.
Yeah. But or documentaries all day on YouTube.
Yeah.
But if we can expose someone to an information that will now lead them to go to their passion project or start their business, or get up and actually I'm gonna apply to a community college or a technical school or what's this other school called? It's a technical school. It's a like a tech school, technical school. Oh yeah, I was mentioning my brother earlier and I forgot. I want to finish with that. So my mom was like, she was kind of, because she wanted to go the traditional route, right? She wants him to go to school, a university, and like finish with a degree, traditional degree, right? And I made a post about not doing that. Like if you're not dude, not everyone's built for school, bro. And individuals went to school, got in debt, and they're not even with a degree. They didn't even come out with a degree, dude. And they're not even working in that. And so
a lot of people like that.
Yeah, and we need to learn that we need to learn that not everyone's meant for school. Or if they are going to go to school, they're not meant to do the traditional. They're not meant to go to the traditional route, right? Some people want technical stuff. So my brother's more hands-on, right? He was more hands-on. He was like, dude, I don't care about. He doesn't care about the subjects, right? How are you gonna force him to study and learn it, dude? Like you can't, dude. If you're not motivated, you're not gonna learn. Unmotivated minds, dude, they're not gonna learn. But he was motivated with this, and he finished it. What? How many months did you finish in?
9 months.
Like 9 months, dude. He finished school, and he had gone to. You have gone to community college for how many years? Like 3 years, like 3 or 4 years, dude. And he wasn't finishing, dude. Just wasting time, bro. He could have finished a long time ago. Probably wouldn't have been probably would have had his business by now. But because it's always focusing on the traditional stuff. No. Like going back to what we were talking about. Work is work, man. And if you're passionate about it, why not do it, bro? Like if he's passionate about heating and cooling, why not do it? If someone's passionate about electricity and being an electrician, why not do it? If someone likes welding, construction, welders, dude.
Yeah, they make a lot of money.
Dude, I met this dude who said he was going to make $100,000 in 1 year, bro. He already had gotten his diving degree. His diving certificate or something. He already had his welding degree or something, a certificate. He was going to start working for the oil companies and drilling the actual like petroleum drills.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to start like fixing up, patching it up down at sea, dude. And they're paying you $100,000 to do that, dude. And it's not even like all year.
That's good.
But that's something he was passionate about. He didn't go the traditional route, and that's something that motivated them. So that stigma, there's something that we want to battle against. Like the technical field right now needs more people now, like plumbers, car technicians, just electricians, HVAC, like the traditional stuff, dude. And they're making pretty good money now because of the lack of, and it's always basic economics, and so yeah, this is the introduction to what the Saborez Project is, and I hope that we can collaborate with many of you. I really want to start, like, we need to take ourselves seriously. Like, our community needs to take itself serious. Like, we're not your poster child, dude. We're not their poster child. We're not their monkeys in a circus to dance. I know the Latino culture right now is becoming big, right? But it can't be a fad. We've always been there. These views are not like the views these Latin American rap artists and reggaetoneros and trap artists are getting in the Latino community. It's not because of the moment. They've always been there. It's because of the potential that we have. And once we start looking at the potential we have and really take ourselves seriously, the sky's the limit. The sky, because we already have the buying power. Yeah. Now imagine if we, instead of using that power to buy, we start investing.
Yeah. I mean, and now with the internet, it should be easier, but a lot of people don't. They use the internet for like scrolling and just liking and commenting instead of actually using it to their advantage.
Yeah, it's a battle. It's a mental battle, but we can get through it as a community, you know. And not only that, but bringing forward information that can hopefully trigger something, a change in someone. But yeah, guys, this is your boy Checo, checking out the first episode of the Saborez Project.
Thank you guys for giving us a listen. Hope to come back and do this with hopefully a guest or just us too. Yeah, and till the next one.
Yeah, peace.